5. Good day. Beeline 6, contact Brussels, approach on 118.255. Good day. Going to 127.575 Beeline 214. Going to 118.255 Beeline 6. One 120.105 for blowing tree.
1000.
129.7 for beauty 462.
So here we are at EBBR, Brussels, one of the major paths, one of the major airports for the European Union. And it's a busy airport. It's also a really beautiful airport, and this Aerosoft release, this is now the first update on EBBR since its initial release, but this Aerosoft release really setting a new standard for airports in Microsoft Flight Simulator. We're just making our final approach here in the A320 runway 25L, and we'll just let this flight complete and then we'll have a look around.
Russell Center Beechcraft Oscar with EBBR Echo is passing 9,000 feet, descending 129.7 for beauty 462.
And as you saw there, a lovely approach lighting system, very nicely done. The lighting in this airport in general, EBBR, is really beautiful, enhanced by things like reflective textures and transparent glass and actual interiors, so you get that parallax effect. So here we are now in the daylight, just coming back from the from across the airport here, and you can see the roof lines are extremely detailed. These are all very true to life, and they look great up close. It really doesn't matter at which distance with these 4K PBR and sometimes higher resolution textures, they look great up close. And as we get a broader look at the airport, you can see the wear, the tire tracks, oil, it's all there. It looks very used, as it should. We're just backing away for a broader view here. And yes, as in all Flight Simulator airports, traffic doesn't always quite obey the rules. At least the ground traffic is controllable by the designer, and I haven't seen any oddities there. We'll descend for a closer look here. As you can see, well populated. This is population supplied by Aerosoft Simple Traffic in this case. There are better ones to use, but in terms of general setup, this is very quick and easy and does the job of just providing that lived-in look, active look. Here we are in some of the back active passenger areas and access areas. You can see the detail is pretty impressive. Really a lot of good work here. Seeing some of this reflective glass in the Sheraton on the left. Not transparent in this case, but no need for it to be back here. And then similarly in the Parkade, and you can see beautifully detailed. One thing I've really noticed throughout is a lovely little recreation area here, as it is in real life, is the signage. Just a lot of attention, a lot of care given to signage throughout. Signage large and small, of all kinds, and just tons of objects here. Here we see the transparent glass into the terminal. We'll spend just a moment going through from this end. These escalators aren't moving, but in the major parts of the airport, the escalators actually are moving. We get some of these special features as well, and inevitably knots of passengers. Passengers moving around, passengers sitting. You'll see lots of this. And the traffic, just an amazing amount of live activity here, day or night, which just adds that you never feel like you're alone. You feel like you're in an active, real airport, a very busy European center, which it is. A lot of detail in these vehicles, as you can see too. They are not just slapped together with nice colors and wheels. There's all kinds of decals and details, working lights. You get back into the terminal here. Lots of passengers, passengers talking, passengers walking, passengers sitting. Moving escalators, I mentioned, as you can see. And lighting in the signage, overhead signage, display signage. And the gates and jetways, absolutely fantastic. Never seen this level of detail. Some have come close, but this is just another step up in terms of the detailing, the wear detailing, the stains from rain, the signage, the articulation and lighting. It's just all fantastic on these jetways. Again, the roof detail, the slopes as they should be, exhaust fans and air conditioning units where they should be, lighting where it should be, custom lighting. You'll see this just at every level at EBBR. Starting again from a height, and we'll make our way in closer here from this new angle. The VHL station on the right there. Lots of cargo and freight. Just beautifully done. Taxiways and accessways, vehicle pathways. The lines are always so nicely done here as well. They don't look fresh and new, but they're all where they should be. The no-go areas, the vehicle traffic areas, access and entry areas, as you see here on the right. And then this DHL terminal, very active here in Europe, of course, and lots of activity as it should be. Another low-flying jet coming in here. And then we get to the night lighting from this, initially from this higher vantage point. Really beautifully done. The warmth of the lights, not the coolness as it actually is. The yellow lower end on the lumens on the Kelvin scale. Good use of the colored lights in European airports. They do use red and green and white quite liberally for different purposes. Yeah, very active airport. Very active airport, and it looks this way. Lots of ground objects. Frame rate surprisingly was in the 24 range for me at the gate. I actually thought it might be lower. Lots of optimization behind the scenes here. So we'll have a look along the gate area here at night first of all, and we'll come back and have a closer look in the daylight. See the VDGS system you might notice occasionally on the right. It's active. Aerosoft is now using this system for all their new airports and might even retrofit some, I would expect. Visual docking guidance system, which is configurable as soon as even before you pull up to the gate, I believe. Nice overview here, looking across the gates, and now into the daylight. As I mentioned, very nice action and articulation on these gateways, jetways. And I haven't seen any that pass into the skin of the vehicle. They attach as they should. And when you're in the aircraft, you can actually see the operator at the front there of the jetway. Just the detail on these jetway islands is really impressive. The lines are as they should be on the tarmac at the gate, and the detail of the equipment is just phenomenal. Doesn't look brand new either, which is appropriate. And as I said, the signage, these doors do open on some kind of schedule, not just static. And back into the terminal for a look around this end. Look at the detail on the roof, supporting structures, fantastic. And notice the decals on the side of the escalators there. Again, decals and signage everywhere. Really nicely done. Gate numbers in very large letters. Transition back out of the terminal here, as you can see the glass in place here, looking very good. To the control tower views.
Heading 295, when localized established, 27 left, 7 flights, 178.
104 Papa, turn right heading 180 degrees.
I had 180, shuttle 144.
Which 9 Whiskey Lima, contact tower 18.5, good night.
We're seeing this become almost a standard feature now in newer airports. NZAA has it, here we have it at EBBR, EDLP has it,
Director, good evening, 6561.
CYW,
7 miles, runway 27 left.
and here at EBBR. Nicely done. You have to remember to detach the drone view from your aircraft, or suddenly you'll find the view shifting and doing strange things. Do that with the tab key, and then you can switch drone view in and out to monitor the progress of aircraft, your own or others. Works very well. Good to see this. Just another perspective, and if you ever feel like simply relaxing and watching the activity of an airport, you can sit up here in the control tower and simply observe.
Heading 295, when localized established, 27 left, 7 flights, 178.
104 Papa, turn right heading 180 degrees.
I had 180, shuttle 144.
So the VDGS Visual Docking Guidance System has been developed by a couple of third parties, this one by Aerosoft for use in their airports. It's quite easy to set up. Initially you just hit the Shift V key and a little interface pops up. You choose the gate and the apron and away you go. The system tells you whether you're going right or left, whether you need to go right or left. It tells you how far you have still to go. It will tell you if you've gone too far. You see the red will flash, and then you can see it says I've gone too far here. To reverse my engines a bit, and I'll just back up a bit. Once you're done this phase, you click on Shift V again to tell it if you have another destination, if this is a turnaround, like LHR for Heathrow, and you enter your Zulu time, it will tell you your time off the blocks. And it will track that for you. I tried it in this case, it didn't work, I'm not sure why, it generally does. So that's the EBBR. You can spend so much time here. It's a massive airport. The detail is outstanding everywhere near the airport as well as in the airport. Haven't seen any blurry textures anywhere, and nothing seems neglected. Quite impressive as a product and a really nice addition to Microsoft Flight Simulator. So until next time, this is Flight Doc Reviews, and enjoy your day.
Brussels ground